On a separate note, this past week, the Senate began debating legislation about our nation's educational system. In the same week, we learned more about a major data breach at the Office of Personnel Management, which put more than 21 million Americans' personal information at risk. These events and the policy debates bring to light an issue that doesn't often gather a lot of attention, and that's protecting our students' personal information and data in the digital age. As a father of four, this issue is particularly personal to me. Today, countless schools across the United States utilize electronic records to update student information and transfer data from one school to another. But as the data is collected, it's important that students' privacy is maintained and that the data is being stored safely and securely. In 2014, a working group was formed to address the issue of student data privacy. This group produced the Student Data Privacy Pledge, which intended to set self-imposed principles to ensure that information collected from students is kept both secure as well as private. This week, I'll be introducing legislation called the Safe Kids Act that builds on these ideas by empowering the Federal Trade Commission to oversee and enforce the collection, storage, and usage of covered information. This bill will put important reforms in place to protect students' privacy, to establish greater security and transparency measures, and to encourage innovation among education technology providers and better ensure accountability in keeping our students' information safe. As someone who spent more than 12 years in the technology sector, I'm excited to see technology being used in innovative ways in our schools. And as the father of four, I also want to ensure that there are proper safeguards in place to protect our kids' personal data in an increasingly data-driven world. I also want to thank Senator Blumenthal for joining me this week to introduce this important legislation to protect students' personal information and for his continued work on this issue. And with that in mind, I'll yield the floor so that we can hear more from Senator Blumenthal on this most important issue.